Unmute myself. Make sure that's good. It is. Oh boy, what am I doing? Okay. Welcome, guys. So Keller WHO, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 what your Keller Williams knowledge is like. Roy?
5-ish.
5. Okay. Interesting. Thought you'd be a little higher.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
I'm being conservative.
Scale of 1 to 10, what your knowledge at KW is on KW. So 5?
Yeah, I'll say a 5-ish.
Say 4.
4?
Yes.
Just because you're guessing.
Yeah,
So
because I've been guessing the test.
Well,
So I got a lot of info from there.
That's true.
Yeah,
Good.
so-
Good. Riley?
well, if we're basing it off the code, it's not like 3.
Okay, so we'll say 5.
3.
A lot of the Kahoot is good stuff, except it's a little bit of a research kind of thing. We're going to dive into model systems and tools today.
Okay.
Jocelyn?
Probably a 4.
4. Okay. Perfect. So we got an average about 4 in the room, which is great. And this course was asked to be brought because Keller Williams, as big of a company as it is, the Mountain Life team's been here for as long as it's been here. And we've been so far apart from a market center that we might not have learned what Keller Williams actually presents, benefits, and offers. So that's why that's here, so you guys can learn a little bit more about KW and how you can talk to others about KW. Good? Fantastic. So with that being said, this is our mission statement. Careers worth having. By the way, it was just the first 3 for a long time. Careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living. What's important to you about a business worth owning?
Yeah, the business, then here's a top guy.
Yeah, I mean, what makes a business worth owning?
Creative freedom.
Creative freedom?
The
Wouldn't
money,
that just be a career worth having?
the money,
The dollars, right? Because you can call yourself a business person, yet are you making profit all the time?
No.
No, and if you're not making profit, is it really a business worth owning? Businesses are truly only worth owning if you're making money doing it. Otherwise, it's just a career worth having. So we're going to start there with careers worth having, because as we get into real estate, you probably left a different job to start real estate. And the idea was, I'm just not getting what I need out of the current job, and I want to start having more creative freedom, more time back, more ownership of what you're doing. Maybe it's your calendar, your finances, or just in general, how you feel about doing business. When do you transfer over from career to business?
my career you do is, I guess, well, how I think of it, a career is more fun things, I would think, and a business is, straight to it.
Okay,
And
interesting.
for everybody not watching, I'm doing it in my hand.
Interesting. Okay. So business to you is more like, all right, the numbers, the analytics,
Business to me is more serious
than a career. Okay.
Not saying it's not, that's just my opinion.
Well, I like it and how you presented it, because having is the experience, having fun with it, right? Owning, well, I don't want to own something. Like, my general rule of thumb is I don't buy anything unless I feel like there's a return for it, right? Now, obviously food, there's a return for that. I don't die, right? A vehicle, depending upon, well, if I get a great tax credit on the vehicle, if it's going to be a great tax deduction, if it's going to be a long-term, right? Which I buy vehicles based upon the return that I can get for them, right? So when we start talking about businesses worth owning, that's where those decisions become more powerful and impactful, as opposed to just in your career. Because in my career as a real estate agent, would it be nice to drive a fancy car? Sure. Is it necessary? No. Actually, I've won more listings by driving up in my Kia Sportage and had them tell me, I'm so glad you didn't show up in a Mercedes. Right? Because the deal is that people want to work with people like them, and they don't want to feel like they're funding your lifestyle. Is how I've gotten the feedback over the years. So I always had a business car, And it was a Kia Sportage for a long time. It was a Mitsubishi Outlander, then it was a Kia Sportage, and then it was a Nissan Rogue, and it always had my decal and logo on it. True business expense, true business vehicle, and it didn't turn anybody away because they might have felt like, well, dang, you're driving $100,000 truck. Why would I don't want to fund that. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there, that's how they think. By the way, have you ever had a conversation with somebody who's uncomfortable about talking about money? I have family members, friends. Like it's uncomfortable because money is the root of all
Evil.
Yep. Money doesn't grow on
Trees.
Yep.
Except for it is paper.
It's not paper, actually.
Well, it's a special paper.
It's material. But the key is we're programmed at a young age that money is a bad thing, right? And so is everybody else. Now, we may be the people who are changing that conversation in our friends' circles and families and all that. And it can be uncomfortable having conversations like that with people. Especially when you're across the table from a seller who can't afford to sell their house and you're driving a $100,000 truck trying to convince them to pay you a $40,000 commission. Right. So just start thinking about those things. Businesses worth owning create assets, more money, profitability. Let's move into this one. So we've had the career, we've owned the business, lives worth living. Now, I like this one and I don't like this one because everyone's life is worth living, right? And what does your life worth living look like to you? I mean, give me a picture of your dream life.
Freedom to travel, freedom with my career and business, and how I can have control of my responsibilities and be able to go where I'd like to and be able to take my friends and family where I'd like to, not just go alone or have to wait for somebody else to do it, and also be able to take care of the people I care about, especially if they're sick.
Where is your dream home if you could own anywhere in the world?
Tracker.
Tracker. Okay.
Same.
Okay. All right. Hold on. We're messing up my Okay. Right. Dream home anywhere in the world.
I don't know. Maybe overseas?
Okay. Anywhere specific? Which sea?
Well, maybe England.
Okay. England. Roy?
On top of a mountain somewhere in North Georgia.
Okay. Love that. So y'all three.
Yeah, get away from y'all.
For me, I mean, I moved here. This is my dream home, right? I love being here. However, I didn't live here all the time. I didn't live here forever. I had to make that move, right? That lives worth living is a moment where you decide, okay, well, I have the business that's funding my perfect life because that's the point, not the other way around, right? That gives you your life worth living. And the key there is it's different for everybody. So this is our mission statement for us, and it's our mission statement for how we prepare and work our clients into their career with having. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that became agents or got into real estate investing or got into real estate somehow because the conversation we create around them was exciting to them, which gave them business opportunity, which gave them lives worth living. One of my favorite success stories is my second client ever in real estate was a for sale by owner. Then they were a client. Then we've helped them buy and sell numerous times. Then we helped them sell what they thought was going to be their final dream home. Now they're traveling the country in an RV with their two kids, living their life worth living. It's pretty cool. We can do this for everybody, not just ourselves. They added experiences worth giving and legacies worth leaving. So experiences worth giving. Think about, you three, the Mountain Life team, right? To provide a 5-star experience. Is that the same for everybody? No, it's different for everybody. Have you ever bought a mattress before?
Yes.
How was the experience?
Pretty good.
Where did you go?
Purple.
Okay, so you ordered it online, it showed up in a box. Oh, you went to a store?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, good. So you went to a store, had an experience.
Yeah.
Who's ever gone to one of the shady mattress stores and bought a mattress? Sure. It's a little bit different, right? Or who's bought from a great car dealership and a bad car dealership? I know I have, the experience is different. Where I go now, I can get a haircut and eat at the same time while I'm waiting for my oil change. And they always tell me it's going to take this amount of time and I'm gone 20 minutes sooner. I mean, that's good service. It's an experience worth giving, right? Legacy is worth leaving. What does the word legacy mean to you?
Something that's
Beyond
passed
you.
down.
Beyond you, something that gets passed down. So when you hear the word legacy in your business and all of this in the mission statement, I mean, do you think that far down the road?
No.
Unison. Most people don't. And that's why it's on here, because as we start planning, not only for our success, we're creating success for people in the future, right? And part of what Keller Williams' whole mantra is that we're where entrepreneurs thrive. And entrepreneurs create good businesses. They create opportunities for others. And we're playing so small by not looking at the legacy piece. And I had this conversation with somebody the other day that we're looking at hiring for the MCA position at the market center. I told her, I said, listen, I don't think your mindset's big enough. I don't want to work with somebody who's just thinking about themselves. And in reality, their experience in the past and the life that they were living and the career that they currently have didn't teach this. Everything you do in this business, it's truly not about you, it's about your clients. And from there, it's about who we can impact down the road. Who has kids or are having kids or plan to have kids. Okay?
No.
And those kids may have kids, right? And grandkids and this and that. What is your dash going to say for them? Right? If you don't know what I mean by the dash, it's the number between the year you were born and the year you died. Like, did you put them in a better position because of what you did? Did you find purpose? Or did you just go with the flow? And there's nothing wrong either way. Yet our mission at KW is that we build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Now, again, wealth. Tell me the definition of wealth. What is wealth?
Well, it depends on who you are. You can be wealthy in a lot of ways. Wealthy in family, wealthy in
Thank you.
friends, wealthy in money.
Thank you. Yeah, when people hear the word wealth, they immediately go to finances, typically. But wealth is abundance. All that means is it's abundance of. So you're absolutely right. It could be in abundance of relationships, family, opportunity, creativity, money. It could be any of that stuff. That's truly what legacy is all about. It doesn't mean you got to make $1 million+ a year. It doesn't mean you got to leave $40 billion to your kids. It means that your life gave meaning and purpose to the people behind you. Have you ever heard you're the best person to help the person you once were? If you haven't, you just did, right? Think about where you are today. Think about where you came from. You are the ultimate coach for that person sitting in your shoes however many years ago. You are the best person to help you in a previous life. Any questions on this? By the way, there's going to be a test at the end, so pay attention. Careers, businesses, lives, experiences, legacy, right? This is a big conversation piece. We just spent about 12 minutes talking about it, but we can go deep into each one of these because when I'm coaching or talking with an agent, maybe from another company, I'll bring this up and I'll say, tell me about your career. What makes it worth having? What do you love about it? Getting deep with them and understanding, okay, well, maybe they haven't crossed over into business yet. Because, realtors are the dumbest people on earth. Is it okay to say that? They are.
Trust me.
You could go anywhere right now and get hired and paid to do a job. Anywhere. You as a realtor bought a job. That's all you did.
Yeah.
You said, here's my money. Let me work for you. Right? I think it's the boldest, most courageous thing somebody can do. And I truly believe that. And I wholeheartedly stand behind anybody who wants to make that a reality because, yes, you said, nope, I don't want you to pay me. I want to go earn it. And I love that. And you guys should love that. And what it means is that you're buying a job. It's up to you to turn that job into a business. And if you know or have ever seen the 4 quadrants, the cash flow quadrant, E is up here, that's for employee, right? You bought the job. Self-employed, meaning, okay, well, now I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur. If I can't work tomorrow, I don't get paid. You don't truly start to create wealth until you cross the line and we go into business. Because then your business starts to create wealth opportunities for you. And not just financially. Think about leverage. When I have a business, could I hire someone to do things so I have more time to go spend with my family?
Yes.
Absolutely. It gives you time, energy, money, focus, and then you finally drop down into the I quadrant, which is investments, where your money works for you. This is the difference, in my opinion, between Keller Williams and every other company. Every other company teaches you how to sell real estate. There's no secret that, well, okay, most of them teach you how to sell real estate, or they teach you at least what to do, how not to get sued, how to manage their systems, products, whatever. And we're going to get into the different companies here in a minute, because I think it's important that you guys know what separates one from the other. But the big thing, in my opinion, is that we focus on this. We focus on legacy. We focus on building leaders. We focus on changing the industry through wealth building. And again, wealth is more than finances. That's why our slogan is where entrepreneurs thrive, because anybody can call themselves an entrepreneur. Most agents do. And in reality, they're not. It's just the truth. Any questions, comments, or anything on this? Nothing? We got it? Perfect. Awesome. Tell me what they are. Go ahead.
Career, business, life experience. Legacy.
Good job. Good job. You got the 5 words. Can you tell me what they all are?
Yeah, career, worth having,
Good.
business worth.
Good job. Phone a friend. It's okay. Come on, collectively. Let's go.
Lives worth living,
Good.
experiences worth having the mission.
Giving. Good.
Legacy.
Leaving. Good job, guys. That's amazing. You guys are amazing. I love that so much.
So we have a test and I was like CDL.
I'm pretty sure on the TV. All right, so this is the difference between the real estate companies. Back in the early days, when Jeff started as a realtor, he's not here. When Jeff started in real estate, there was traditional companies. Okay, traditional companies are your Metro brokers. They're your Berkshire Hathaways. They're your Century 21s. They're very traditional in the fact that they promote the brand, not the agent. When the brand gets promoted, they have everything available to the agent that they have to use to promote the brand. Okay, so this company, they're dependent, or the associates dependent upon the company. Without the company's success, the agent really doesn't have a chance to thrive. In these companies, you're given everything. Okay, so you're given the training materials, you're given the marketing materials, you're given the folders with the fancy logo on them, you're given everything, and you're expected to use it to build the brand. These companies, because they give you everything, are typically more of a traditional split model, which means you're at a 40, 50, or 60% split with the company. Because they're paying for everything and they're building their brand. Nothing wrong with that. Century 21, still in the business, right?
Barely.
Okay, they're still in the business. Metro Brokers, same thing. I think Metro Brokers is the largest broker in Georgia, I believe. Berkshire Hathaway, really financially wealthy guy, owns that one, so I think they're in decent shape at the moment.
Well, every time Berkshire Hathaway has something listed, I always forget that they use the abbreviation. I always have to look it up.
EHHS.
So
Berkshire Hathaway Home Service, right?
Yeah.
I believe. So these traditional companies, guys, I mean, they have it figured out. The challenge is, this is a great place for people who want to have a job. This isn't a great place for somebody with entrepreneurial spirit. Then what happened is the 100% companies came to town. The 100% companies, this is where everybody's on their own. The company gives you little to no support. This would be your Remax, your EXP, your Angle and Boker, all the boutique companies. Those companies are the companies that are closer to a 100% split to you, which by the way, it's never 100%. There's always fees associated with it. There's always fine print you got to read. But the 100% company's value is they're going to pay you more so you can go figure it out on your own. That's their value. Their value is we're just going to give you the most amount of money because we don't want to provide all the resources, tools.
Are you gonna give us examples of certain old like businesses?
Did I know?
Anyway,
Remax?
are we max one?
Yeah. Remax, Angle Brokers. Harry Norman leans on, it's funny, Harry Norman is sort of both because they play favoritism.
Yeah.
So Harry Norman, you could be a 100% company or you could be a traditional. So they're a unique one. They might fall more into the model that Keller Williams falls into, except Keller doesn't play favorites. And we'll get into that.
And everybody's leaving right here.
Well, I'm hoping more do in the future. So we've got a couple of great agents over there that I think would be phenomenal with us. So associates, anyway, these 100% companies, yeah, Remax would be a great example. EXP, Real, yep. Those companies, their value is we're just going to pay you more, right? Then you have the interdependent model, which is where Keller Williams has owned for multiple decades. And companies try to copy it. EXP is owned by former KW people. A lot of Remax leadership is former KW people. A lot of these startup brokerages come from KW because the joke is agents go to KW to get trained and then they go do something else. Well, I mean, I love that that's the case because again, I wish every agent was mandated to start with KW. They'd be better for it. Because the interdependent model is opposite of these two models in the fact that we believe in win-win together, collaboration, sharing best practices. Keller Williams has absolutely every resource you could possibly need, but it's up to you if you want to use it. Unlike the traditional where they have everything you need and you have to use it. It's not about the brand. Keller Williams has a $0 marketing budget to market the brand. It's built by agents for agents. So this, I know you guys know, Keller Williams is set up a 70-30 split. And this is what I mean by they don't play favorites. There's no getting out of that. There's no you coming to me and saying, I want an 80-20 split. Ain't happening. Now, I lied. It can happen. You can actually have a 90-10 split with KW. However, you have to guarantee your cap, which means if you don't make it at the end of the year, you owe it. Whereas with the 70-30 model, you don't have to make the cap and you never have to pay it back because that's our agent-centric model. So we don't play favorites. Everybody's treated the same. It doesn't matter if you're a 30-year veteran or brand new, you have the same cap opportunity. And by the way, I don't know why anybody would just not want to be on a 70-30 cap because you pay your cap off faster and get to 100% quicker. Just my opinion. I never took an 80 or 90%. It was always 70 because I capped in 2 months. And then I got to be 100% the rest of the year. It's great. So anyway, this here is the industry as a whole. You've got multiple different companies. And now with technology and stuff, you've probably got 2 other categories between each that are hybrids of each other. But Keller Williams and the interdependent model, guys, we came, when the last crash happened in 2008, we were the 4th largest real estate company in the world. We came out of it number 1. And we've held on to it for more than a decade with no intention of giving it up. No other company has held it that long. And when companies lose number 1, they never historically got it back. Which is why our company is always focused on, not today, but down the road. I mean, how many times have you guys heard over the past years, the shift is coming? I mean, the shift is coming. I mean, we wrote a book on it in 2009. The shift is coming. Even though the market was awesome, the message from the company, KWRI and Gary Keller, has never changed. It's be prepared for the worst times and the best of times. Either you'll thank me or you'll thank me, right? Is the message. Because if I'm wrong, you made a lot of money. But if I'm right, you're prepared. And we're always looking to the future, guys. If you ever have a chance to spend time in a KWRI training or regional training or that kind of stuff, do it. So funny. I love Rob Pacer. He's new with the Market Center from Coldwell Banker. He accidentally ended up in a 10-minute conversation with the president of our company at family reunion. Didn't even know it. It was hilarious. He didn't even know it.
That's wrong.
But that's so cool though. Like, you know, we can just have those exchanges and conversations. It's not a huge deal. These guys are amazing. They're just human beings. I was at KWRI not too long ago, and Jason Abrams, a personal hero of mine, just walked into the garage with me, having a conversation, invited me over to his place for coffee and stuff like that in the morning before the thing.
You say yes?
Yeah, I went. Why would I not?
That's what I was gonna say. If you said no, why didn't you do that?
Why would I say no to a personal hero? I don't even like to say people are heroes, but that guy is amazing.
Agreed.
He's incredible. His energy is just perfect. And he used to have a show on HGTV. I love that.
What's it called?
I can't tell you, but he used to be on HGTV. I mean, you could tell, like, he's just meant for that kind of stuff. So it was perfect. But anyway, questions on this? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Independent model, interdependent model, dependent model. And what's really cool about this is I use this in a lot of conversations with agents who are coming from companies who have higher split. I recently had a month exchange with an agent who was stuck on an 80-20 split. I said, listen, I'm just not doing it unless you want to guarantee your cap. And they didn't want to do that. So I'm not doing it. And she even said, I'll sign an NDA, which is, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
A non-disclosure. I said, great. I appreciate you saying that. And no. Because if I do that with you, how does that make me look? And the company. There is no way around it. We treat everybody exactly the same. And that's one thing I love about how our company believes in the fact that we live in integrity and doing the right thing. So anyway, cool. A career in real estate about Keller Williams. So Keller Williams was founded 40 years ago, going on 41 years in about a month. The only company that's really in existence that has us beat on time is Remax. Remax has been in business now, what, 51 years? And it's important to know because Remax used to be really big in Atlanta too. They're not anymore.
Keyword used to be.
Used to be before Keller came to town. Well, guess who's coming to town now? Come on in.
Keyword.
Keller's coming to town here now. Remax owned Atlanta. Atlanta was big red, white, and balloons. Big red, white. What did I miss? Blue balloons.
They're
I didn't
blue.
say two in a row.
They're blue.
They're balloons. Yeah,
They're blue.
balloons, hot air balloons. So they were huge in Atlanta. They owned it. Now who owns it?
We do.
We do. Keller does. Keller owns 52% of the market share in Atlanta. Do you know that?
What is it
52%.
for? I believe it. I mean,
Is this for the United States?
Well, we're the largest real estate company in the world.
I feel like the market share for the United States is like.
I don't know. I could find out.
I
I'll let you
believe
know.
it. I believe it. There's like 3 Keller Williams realty partners: Blairsville, Marietta, and like somewhere else. Because
I
every
want-
time I go on there, I'm gonna have to pick all 3 because I don't know which one's which.
Yeah. I want to say it's somewhere between 18-19%. They showed a slide at family reunion. I just don't remember the exact numbers where we have more market share than the next 4 companies combined. In Atlanta, though, I mean, just back to the conversation, I mean, we own 52% of the market share in Atlanta. And guys, who owns up here other than the Mountain Life team?
Nobody.
Remax has a pretty good stronghold up here. Until now.
Yeah, until we take that caravan and go beat them all up.
You did warn her that she's being.
You're old. Yes.
I keep forgetting.
For internal use only. But no, I mean, we were founded, and I only bring that up because we are 10 years younger than Remax. And remember, we have zero marketing budget. We have about 800 less offices worldwide than they do. And we have more agents, more sales, more volume. It's pretty incredible. So Keller Williams Realty as a whole, again, we're founded in 83. We started franchising in 91. And remember, as part of that quiz we took, Gary Keller, before he started Keller Williams International, he started franchising. And he didn't want to. However, he was talked into doing it, and he flew out and he met people in other areas who were successful agents who then he sold franchises to. Out of the 13 he sold, he closed 9 of them. Because just because somebody's a good agent doesn't mean they're a good leader, culture fits, or owner. So it's a very expensive lesson that Gary learned, and he also learned the value of time. He ended up afterwards starting to book people to come fly into him, because if he was already going to pay to fly somewhere, have a hotel, have a car, be away from the office, be away from family, well, financially and time, it just made more sense that he paid for them to come in. And one of his things he always did with every new franchise owner after that was they had to sit with him at his kids' lunch table at their school and have a business meeting.
What a way to break down this.
Some of them were offended because they didn't wine and dine them, and he got to know their culture really quick. And then that's where Keller Williams International started exploding. And we started really growing as a company. So 1983, we were founded, Gary Keller and Joe Williams. They were both in the insurance game. And they wanted to create the largest insurance company in the world. And then Gary Keller worked his butt off working for a couple other real estate companies and decided that I'm going to buy a red couch and do it myself. Still has that red couch in his office. He paid $1,000 for it from a thrift store in 1983.
From a thrift store?
Nice couch.
That sounds pretty expensive. Yeah.
Pretty expensive thrift store. I didn't pay anything over like $50 in the thrift store.
All right, so before we go any further, any ahas, questions, thoughts, things you didn't know?
I didn't know we were that big in Atlanta.
I didn't realize that Remax, I guess I never looked into it, started before.
Yeah, they celebrated 50 years last year, so they're coming up on 51.
Remix has like 3 offices in Blairfield, don't you?
I think so. Yeah, Lucretia's, Town and Country, and they have another agent team, I believe.
Downtown, did you say downtown?
No, I missed that one. So.
And we have one office. And
Well.
we're better.
Well. So what's really neat too is, again, when Keller, so the idea of a market center, by the way, just so you know, don't take it lightly that we're opening one. They don't open market centers very often. Keller Williams' whole model is they open up a brick and mortar market center when they're absolutely sure it's going to succeed, period. The Remax model is let's open an office on every corner, right? Which is why they have way more offices than us. However, Keller's gotten pretty smart over the past decade. They've started doing what's called business centers. And business centers are locations where we have a need for Keller, but we don't have the economic model to support it. So in the near future, once our office is at a level where it's producing at a certain level, we can open up what's called a business center, which is essentially a mini market center. Which, if you don't know, we just signed a lease for a retail space behind Longhorn, which can be in the future a potential opportunity for that.
Many
Okay.
markets.
Mini, business center for the market center. So they've gotten smart in the ink blotting model, except they took the approach that Walmart took. We're going to find those rural areas, those spaces where we can put a brick and mortar building and attract great talent too. Good. So a career in real estate with Keller, a company of culture. I mean, we talked about this, sharing best practices, working as a team. That is honestly one of the biggest values of KW is that even if you're not on a team, you're part of a team. You have a team built into the company that you're working for. The leadership works for you. I want to make that very clear because it's not like that everywhere. When people say, I have a broker, well, that doesn't mean they have somebody like myself as the team leader in the office. That means they have someone who's going to make sure that they're not going to get sued. But we have that too. But they don't have a business coach. And if they do at times, it's out of necessity. Most brokers and owners aren't very good at coaching because they're good at other things. But when you go and you talk to some of these other companies and they say, well, I have a broker, they help me with this, they help me with that. Well, wonderful. And they should, because they don't want to get sued. That's honestly the reason. When we talk about sharing best practices and working as a team, well, the leadership of a KW Market Center is designed to work for the agents because the agent-centric model is KW. Did you know that the leadership positions at KW Market Centers are probably the worst paid people in the industry? And I don't say that to like make you feel better, but just know that myself included and anybody else who becomes leadership, they're not in it for the money, they're in it for you. Now, don't get me wrong, there's opportunity to earn money in leadership. However, you know how much easier it is to go sell a bunch of houses? I'm just telling you guys, the people who are truly in leadership with Keller Williams are there because they want to be there. They want you to succeed. They want to help you grow. It's not like the owner or a broker of another company who the more you make, the more they make because they own the whole thing. That's not it. I promise you. And we're a transparent, open book company. The average salary, and I'll just tell you this, the average salary for a team leader at a market center, no matter how many agents they have, is $65,000 a year. You know what the average agent makes? 52. And by the way, that's an average agent. Do you think average agents become team leaders?
No.
No. I'll tell you, these people want to be there, they want to help you, and they want you to succeed. Education training for agents at every level. Law of the lid. Ever hear that story? Well, I think it's John Maxwell. Law of the lid. Leadership can either be a closed or open lid for you. And everything rises and falls on leadership, which means if your leader has a closed lid approach, meaning nobody's going to be better than me, that's as far as you're going with that leader. A great leader has an open lid approach where they understand that they're in place to make people better, which in turn forces me and any leader to level up if I want to keep the lid open, right? The education and training for agents at every level, which is why, when we look to add trainings and truly build out a full calendar of trainings, everything's going to be geared towards the top agent in the room. Why is that important?
Bring everybody up.
Bring everybody up, exactly. Yeah. Now, in doing so, do people still need to know how to write contracts, use DocuSign, and know how to get through command? Which is where productivity coaching comes in, which is where launch and orientation come in. When we're hosting a training, we want to make sure that that room rises. We want to be doing those smaller things in private, making sure they feel comfortable using those tools and systems and models. And we want to make sure that when we pull a room of people together, that everybody gets something out of it. Always shoot to be at the top level for your education and training stuff. And that's on here every single year, guys. I'm trying to replace the word guys with friends. So if you hear me say guys, can you tell me about it? Okay. Thank you.
Why?
I think guys a lot in my videos. Huh?
We always said that.
Yeah, I do. So I'm trying to change it so I do it less to friends. Buddy. Every year over year, Keller Williams is ranked number 1 or 2 training companies in the world. And that's not just real estate, that's any company. We beat out Intel, we beat out Google. I mean, we are top notch tier when it comes to education. That's incredible. Compensation at a higher level. This is so important because remember I told you most people get hung up on shiny object, which is 80-20, 85, 90, 95, right? They get hung up on that without actually doing the math or understanding it. Because we here at KW have what's called a cap. Can someone explain cap to me?
If there's so many amount of monies given to the company, they don't need to pay anymore.
It's 100% commission.
Yep.
So our cap is after you pay a certain amount of money into the company, which by the way is the same for every associate at every market center, you pay nothing the rest of the year. Which means 100% of your commissions come back to you for you to plug into your business. Remember, we talked about interdependent and independent. Well, this is the conversation between the two. Is they're like, well, I'm making a 90% split where I am. Why would I come to KW and make 70-30? Well, gee, you're doing $350,000 in GCI. You know, with KW, you'd probably be making about 97% split with the company.
Because they pay per transaction, right?
Well, they pay whatever 5%, 10%, 15% on each commission. Yeah, there's no cap. And if they're up in higher levels, like Remax specifically, to have a 95% split, you got to pay $650 a month to get that. So it's pay to play, right? So at Keller, no, I mean, you pay in your cap, you make 100% the rest of the year. And what most people do and what my exercise with people is $200,000 GCI business. If you do a $200,000 GCI business with Keller Williams, you're actually on a 91-9 split with the company. But people don't know this because remember, how big is Keller Williams' marketing budget?
$0.
We're not telling the story, right? KW is not telling the story, so who is? The Remax brokers. You don't want to go there, they pay 70-30. That's what they're saying. And if they've been with Keller before, they'll go, you don't want to go there, you get paid 64%. Why is that?
No idea.
Because there's a 6% royalty at $3,000 as part of your cap. So they can take that and use it and be like, well, they're only paying you 64%. Why would you leave here?
Because we also pay 100.
But they ain't going to tell them that, right? Because if you truly do the math on most people's business, especially here in the mountains where your average sale price is super high, they'll make more money here. And what I hear a lot with people who don't want to leave those companies is, well, I have someone who makes my flyers for me. And then I look at their flyer, you might want to fire that person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, God, seriously, just do the math. So that's what's really important, is compensation at a higher level. The bigger you build your business, the more you're rewarded. And you get to pour back into your business the way you see fit. Profit share. Keller Williams is the only company on the face of the planet that will pay you to work there. Because from day one, you have opportunity to participate in profit share. What is the benefit, do you guys know, when a husband and wife team join Keller Williams?
They only
Two
pay
people.
one cap.
They only pay one cap, they share a cap, which means if a husband and wife team are at KW, they only pay one cap. So they get to cap faster and they participate in profit share immediately because they're in their downlines.
If my wife,
Well, one names the other.
if
So
husband are on team and they only share one cap, is that cap higher than
Nope.
a single person?
Nope. Same cap. So that's a huge benefit to being a husband-wife team, is you get to come in and guys, if you know husband-wife teams at other companies, I mean, I'd be talking to them because chances are they're paying a lot more than they should be paying at Keller Williams. However,
That is really huge.
It is.
for People that have husband and wife
Mhm.
teams. For us, $16,000,
plus your three, yeah,
you know, for market center.
Yeah.
That's huge.
it is huge. And, you know, to participate in profit share immediately too. You automatically have a downline as a husband-wife team. Pretty cool. Technology, tools, and systems. Guys, we own our technology with Command. It's constantly being put through the test and making better. It's not something that's just thrown at you and said, here you go, use it. This is something that we've been given, it's been working, and it's constantly getting better. I love so far everything that I use Command for. I remember I was part of the labs when they launched it in 17. It was cool, but it was awful. I mean, it was terrible. Bugs galore, didn't work the way it was supposed to. And now I'm running all the social posts for KW Elevate through Command, all the paid ads through Command. We're doing certain databases through Command. I mean, there's a lot of designs through Command, referral networks. I've sent multiple referrals out lately. I mean, it's a tremendous system and tool. So this is what sets us apart. And we've kind of touched on a lot of this, but education is number one. Education is how we built ourselves as a company. You guys know the red book, right?
Yeah.
The MREA book, guys, that is in every office across the country. It doesn't matter if it's KW or not. Gary Keller's name is in every real estate office across the country. Why? Because he set out to write a book for the industry. If you go through that book, there is no mention of Keller Williams other than Gary Keller's name on the front cover. It's not a Keller Williams book. It's a manual on how to run an effective real estate business. And other people caught on to it. But what's great is the cover's red and it says Keller. So now everybody who's ever seen the book subconsciously knows who Keller Williams is. Culture, the Y4C2Ts. Can everyone tell me what those are?
Win-win.
Or, good. What's the I?
It's,
Integrity.
customers come first.
Customers.
Customers, client.
Customers.
Come on, Mom.
Commitment. There's two more. There's 4 C's.
Customer commitment.
Here, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Customers, commitment, communication, creativity, teamwork, trust, equity, and success. Our belief system there. So the culture and the Y4C2Ts, guys, you can bring back any one of those things and bring it back to how we should be acting, not only in our offices, however, in our industry. Right? If we're not looking for a win-win deal, then we're actively looking to hurt somebody else. Right? And if we find a win-win solution, we talked about this in Ignite in other classes, aren't they more likely to want to work with you again on both sides?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I absolutely rip to shreds the seller in a negotiation, do I have any chance of working with that seller in the future? Whereas only 7% end up working with the agent they used before? No. But if I can create a win-win experience, well, now I've got opportunities that weren't available to me if I didn't. Technology, we own it. Free outright, there's zero debt. Gary Keller put over $1 billion of his own dollars into the equipment and tech before he started asking anybody to chip in. Agent Leadership Council, which that's wrong. It used to be the Agent Leadership Council. It's now Associate Leadership Council, but it's agent-centric. Cap commission structure, 100%. We talked about that. Any questions on anything so far? Ahas.
When you say associate, are you talking about that, there could be, leadership people on the council?
Mm-hmm. So like a MCA or
Someone that doesn't have productivity levels to get.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Associate Leadership Council. So back at one of my old offices, we had our MCA as the head of the profitability committee for the ALC. So that could be part of that. The other key piece to that is, guys, you don't have to be an active realtor or even have a license to participate in profit share. So like if you had a assistant, you can, no, that's been that way for a long time. You can be an assistant, have your name in the downline pool. You're responsible for attracting people to KW. They name you. That assistant gets paid profit share, and then you get paid profit share because you hired them and they're here supporting and growing the company. So This is why we're doing this class.
You didn't give me any bags.
I had, my lady I told you about who's traveling the country right now. She earns profit share. She's not licensed, never has been.
She also wanted to put Max down.
It's not that it changed. It was incorrectly communicated with us.
Yeah. Well,
That
regardless,
happened with me.
I mean, regardless, no, but I'm just saying, like, that's why I was asking if it recently changed,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to.
So it's not communicated. That's why.
And that's part of this reason we're doing this,
Yeah.
right? Because yeah, if you have an unlicensed assistant, they could be in profit share. They could be in profit share. The other thing too, I mean, we talked about the husband and wife thing. You know, Noah and Madison could have done something different and benefited from that. But
Yeah, absolutely.
cap commissions, oh, we already talked about that. What other questions, ahas? Learning stuff? Cool, because we're like 4 slides in. But we touch on a lot of this stuff as we go anyway. So our mission, we talked about this one, build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. We had that conversation at the beginning. Your Y4C2Ts, this is the belief system. You should know these. You should communicate these. Not just to your not just to your other agents, I mean your clients and the industry as a whole, right? Like I use these when I'm talking to another agent. I'll say, hey, what's the win-win here? And if I go to another agent I'm competing against and I say, hey, what's the win-win? Does that put them on the defense or does that put like a collaboration effort together? It should be collab, right? If I go, hey, my commitment to you, well, commitment holds a little bit higher of a meaning than I'll get to that. Right? And trust, I mean, these words, success, results through people. Well, I mean, there's so many opportunities at Keller Williams that, somebody could be in the wrong seat in the bus. Like one thing I have always done, even back in early days of managing the restaurants and stuff, is that everybody has talent. We have to determine what it is. And sometimes have to pull it out of them because they don't see it themselves. And success results through people has always kind of been a huge thing for me because I remember vividly people who nobody thought could do anything right become the best at one thing that they did better than anybody else. And that's the key when we're looking at people is we've got to look at, well, where is their success going to come from? It may be real estate sales. It may be buyers. It may be sellers. It may be investors. What's your niche? It also might be coaching. It also might be photography. It also might be something different. And we need to be open to those conversations and integrity, do the right thing, have the tough conversations when we need to. I think everybody in this room I might have had a tough conversation with, except for Pam, because she's not an agent, on whether or not this is the right fit for you and what we're willing to do it. How you're going to move forward, how you're going to get better. Have those tough conversations. You'd be surprised at what comes out of them. We believe that real estate is a local business driven by individual agents and their presence within their communities. What's the percentage of buyers and sellers that decide who they're going to work with based upon the company name?
I'd say it's 10%.
It is. It's actually less than 2%.
Wow.
So remember we talked about traditional companies?
Mm-hmm.
Who do they promote?
Themselves.
The brand, right? Who cares?
Nobody.
2%. So in my opinion, these companies are just dying companies. You've got to be in one of these two to compete in today's market because it's not about the brand. It's about the relationship you have with the agent, the relationship you have with your clients, and the relationship you have with other agents in the community. That's huge, and it is very local. Real estate's hyper local because they care about what's happening here. They don't care about New York if they're buying here. They don't care about Houston if they're buying here. They care how much you know about what's happening in your backyard. That's why it's so important to have the relationship, have the skills, and to be able to have those conversations. Because if we just say, well, Keller Williams is the largest real estate company in the world, who cares? And this is the mistake people make when they get into talking about KW. It's just like talking about metal roofs to someone who never would want one in the first place. Me, I don't want a metal roof.
Why?
Every time I go in a building with a metal roof, I get no cell service. And if it's not insulated perfectly, the rain sounds terrible.
I love this sound.
So not what I'm trying to say.
Not the problem.
So, but the thing is, it's like, I don't know if you guys saw the post I put up a couple days ago. It was a brain and it had all the different KW stuff around it. Well, the problem people have is everyone with KW, because we are a profit sharing company, because you can benefit in that, they just throw up KW on people. That's not the answer. We need to prescribe what makes sense to them, right? We need to be the professional and make sure, okay, well, if they're having trouble getting leads in their business, well, why would I tell them about transaction and closing help? They have no leads to close, right? Why would I tell them about that? I would tell them about the things that could help generate new business. But what we do is we have this menu, like we're going to Wendy's, and we just throw it on top of them. And then they're crushed by the weight of everything. Oh, whoa, these guys drink the Kool-Aid, right? Like that's what they say. So, but if we just follow the belief system and have true integral conversations with people, I mean, you're in great shape as an agent. Literally, if you follow that in the 6 personal perspectives, you will be a phenomenal agent and business person. Training and coaching. So, y'all know that we soft launched a productivity program over at the office. With that program, it gets bigger. There's going to be eventually a launch coach, a productivity coach, and then we have breakthrough coaching, and then that promotes you into mastery coaching if you choose to go into it. It's supposed to be a growing vine to get yourself into true accountability to make sure that you can build the business you're looking to have. By the way, my role, my job description is business coach for the agents. So now that I'm transitioning a little bit more over to the market center, for those of you who are here, you may not be permanently on my calendar, but make sure you get on it. Because my job is to make an impact in you. Okay? If I don't see you for a while, I'm probably just going to come get you. Okay? So don't think you can run from me. Training and coaching, but guys, that's the whole point is when we set a goal and you write it down, you're 46% more likely to attain it. When you add accountability, 46 becomes 72. When you add real accountability of someone who's going to check up on you, it skyrockets to over 90%. Stick to your goals, add coaching. That's one thing. Again, we're number 1 constantly as a training company. She's skipping out before the test. It's like, I'll send it to you later. See you, Tess. Have fun with it. MREA we talked about, the curriculum we talked about. By the way, don't just go read this book. Okay? Don't just go read this book. Terrible novel, great instruction manual. What you want to do is you want to start on page 1 and implement. Don't move to page 2 until page 1 is in your business. Don't go try to be a CEO level 7 business day 1, is what I'm saying. Because this book will walk you through every step. But if you're building a table and you go to the last page, is that table going to be built right?
Oh, no.
No, probably going to fall apart. You have a leg on top of the thing. But when you follow this as an instruction manual, you will build a business based on models, systems, and tools. By the way, not just from Keller Williams agents, but from agents around the country with every company that came together, gave best practices, and put it in a book and sold it to you for $10.
That makes so much sense. No one's ever said that. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, I mean, this book is amazing. The challenge is, just like real estate as a whole, we get overwhelmed with how much there is already.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, ooh, millionaire real estate agent, I want to be that. And then we go read this book and expect it to be perfect.
You not know where to start.
Page 1, implement. Master it. Page 2, implement. master it. And you're going to find that in this book, there may be pages and models and systems that just don't work for you. That's okay. Use the book as a tool, not a be all. Okay, that's the key to this. It's model systems and tools built into a book sold to you for $10. And most of you have probably gotten it for free from me or the company or whatever. It's this quote at the bottom. If I've seen farther than others, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. I'm reminded of another quote, and I don't know who said it, is I can recreate the wheel and maybe get there, or I can start where they finished and guarantee I get there. That's what model systems and tools are. Cornerstone courses. So some of you have been through Ignite. I think all three of you, four. I don't care if you've gone through Ignite. Okay. Ignite. Lead generation 36-12-3. That's 36 deals in 12 months with 3 hours of lead gen a day. Great course. And then win with buyers, win with sellers. These three in that order are probably the best thing you could do for your business early on and as a refresh. Because we as agents who've been in the business a long time, there's a model in the MREA book that's a triangle. And on the bottom it says model systems. And on the top it says creativity. And the longer you're in the business, the more creative you think you are, and that triangle starts to tip. This gets you back in shape. These courses are perfect for getting you back to the basics. So lead generation, 36-12-3 will be coming soon. Then we're going to do buyers and sellers at the market center. Technology and marketing. My listings, my leads. This is another huge benefit to KW. When you take a listing and you put a sign in the yard, if that sign call comes to the market center, that lead automatically goes to you. That doesn't happen at every company. For two reasons. Number one, they want to make sure that everybody has opportunity so they don't lose agents because, that's their value is they just pay you more. And then they screw over the person who did the work. Number two reason is it's hard to track. They just don't feel like doing it. But with KW, it's my listing, my lead. If it comes into the market center, that lead goes to that agent who listed it. And another benefit to the team is the fact that now that we'll have a market center here, that can be in full effect. Whereas we questioned if it was in the past. So, mobile app. If you don't have the KW mobile app, get it. It's phenomenal. It's super good. You can create collections in there. You can create guides in there. You can see homes not only here locally, but anywhere in the country. You can set up searches for people anywhere in the country, which is great if you know people in other places and you're trying to build referral business. It's incredible. And by the way, the app and the new websites, I hate to say it, I think Zillow still edges it out slightly, but it is the closest to being as user friendly to Zillow as anything out there. And Zillow's the monster in the room, right? I mean, that's where most people go. Homes.com spent $4 billion over the past year to try to rival Zillow. And they're working on it. They're getting there. But guess what? We did it as well. And we're already there. Use your technology.
Do you know how the market centers look up the listings? Like our particular market center, they've got, do they just go to KWLS? Because everything's supposed to be in there, but there was a while there, ours were not dittoing.
Yeah.
They were not automatically going in there. So that, could be an issue too. So I was just curious.
So, it would be like the agent services or front desk person eventually. It'll be the MCA first. Yeah. They'll go through, they'll verify whose it is and gets transferred or sent over to that agent. But the other key to that is you can bypass that whole thing by using command in your app. Because if they're searching on your app or find it on your app, that lead comes straight back to you in your command, you bypass the market center altogether. So when you're using the app, there is a share feature that when you share that, it shares a code to your client or whoever you want to open it. Let's say you're running an ad on Facebook. You put that link in as your ad, they click it, open it, Now they get the KW app downloaded to their phone, branded to you. So anytime they look at a home or save something or want information, it comes back to you. And they automatically get put into your database. So the technology is great if you use it. It's just like a database. You've got to use it. Commercial markets. So I put this in here because another key benefit to KW is we're not just residential real estate, right? We are residential real estate. We are luxury real estate. We are land certified. We are commercial real estate. We are sports and entertainment certified. Well, I mean, we could go on and on. Huh?
So we're all the certified.
We are. And what's really cool about that is, again, we have this massive market of agents across the whole world who have luxury clients, sports and entertainment clients, commercial opportunities, residential opportunities, investment opportunities. And we have the referral networks, the support, the coaching, the training to be the best in those industries. Not every company does. They may tout they have commercial. I don't think I've ever met another big company that has a dedicated land division. They have land services, but not a land division. We have farm and ranch. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff. I mean, it's pretty neat. There's the other one, resort certified, development, commercial development. I mean, it's some good stuff. So anything you want to be in this industry with KW, you can be. Remember, going back to the interdependent model, we have everything. It's what you want to plug into. It's how you want to niche yourself in the business. You don't have to go recreate the wheel. And you also aren't forced to use it. Wealth building and culture. Someone give me the definition of wealth again.
Wealth, many different things that you have hundreds of.
It's an abundance of anything. Time, energy, money, spiritual well-being, health. It's an abundance of. So the big thing I love about KW and how we go about training and working and coaching people is that we coach to wealth. We coach to wealth. And when we do that, we create leaders, not followers. If you have an abundance of energy, how does that impact a room? Brings it up. If you have an abundance of money, how does that impact your community?
You can give more.
You can give more. If you have an abundance of time, how does that impact your family? And that's the thing, it's like we've got to look to build wealth in all aspects of our life. And that's where we walk into the profit share conversation, because profit share is truly the only true passive income source I can think of. If I wanted to go invest in a short-term rental, is that truly passive? Or do I have work to do?
Oh, you gotta work.
You gotta work. If I wanted to buy a photography company, could it be 100% passive, or is that photography company going to need some sort of something from me other than capital to grow? I mean, look at Shark Tank, right? If you ever watch Shark Tank, they don't go there just for the money. They go for the mentorship. So those aren't truly passive opportunities. Profit share, you literally have to do nothing for it. I have a couple people on my line, or at least they were in my line, I'd have to check, who I've never met them before. They just showed up because someone who I showed up for them.
Brilliant.
It's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. And the fact that, you earn profit share opportunities from the profitability of the company just for helping it grow. And it's not like, hey, I need this person here. Profit share should happen purposely and passively. It should never be a sales game. Like Aaron Kaufman, who travels the world teaching the KW effect, he doesn't sell real estate. All he does is talk about KW. It attracts people to talk to him about Keller Williams. He talks to them about Keller Williams. They join the company, and guess who's named as sponsor? He is. All because he started the conversation about Keller Williams. He found an issue or a challenge that was happening in their business currently and gave a solution. Or he opened up their eyes to something that they didn't know because we don't market Keller Williams. There's a lot of agents who, there was a stat given in the TL Skills Can. It was 80% of mega agents who joined Keller Williams had never been asked to join Keller Williams before. And it's the reason they weren't there sooner. We have in our minds that just because somebody does a lot of business, that they're happy where they are. When in reality, they could be facing a major struggle in their life. Maybe they have an abundance of wealth in their business, but they have a negative wealth in their relationships and their family. What if with Keller, there was an opportunity to offset that and help them create more abundance in their time? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they've got all the time in the world, but they're not making any money because they don't have the resources or training. Well, we call that taking a stand for somebody. Because I need to take a stand for somebody and their greatness and their success for maybe them to realize it at some points. My first ever coach, his name was Pat Mancuso, and the guy is incredible. I love Pat. He is like, he'll punch you in the face and won't tell you. Okay, like I at least tell you I'm gonna punch you in the face right now. No, he'll just do it. And he's funny, he's relatable, and yet he's tough. And I remember going to him in my second bold and said, I want to sign up for mastery coaching. And he looked at me, asked me 3 questions. And at the end of it, he said, well, you're not ready. So what do you mean? I want to pay you $1,000 a month to coach me. What do you mean I'm not ready? He took a stand for me right there. He could have taken my money. But instead, he lived in integrity. Oh my gosh, a long time ago. He lived in integrity and said, no, you're not ready yet. This is what you have to do. Come back to me when it's done. You know, and that stuck with me for a long time in the fact that, well, it still does today, obviously, if I'm talking about it, but it stuck with me for a long time in the fact that, wow, you know, like, if we just take a stand for someone's greatness, their whole lives can change. Because after that conversation, I went from making $2,000 in my first 6 months in this industry to $94,000 in my last 6 months. Well, my second 6 months of my first year. And that conversation was the catalyst. It takes one conversation, one coach, one instance where you get to be something for somebody that they didn't realize. That's what profit share truly is. It's not about selling people to join KW, because when I meet with people, the first thing I tell them, just like I would in a listing appointment, we're going to decide today if this is a great fit for you and if it's a great fit for us. There's no sales in that approach. There's just, is this a good fit? And if it's not, like I mentioned to the room early on, someone's going to try to negotiate a cap that we don't give. Sorry, it's not a good deal. It's not a good culture fit. That person's going to cause more problems later on because they feel slighted. Why would I want to bring it in? If they don't understand the value, or they don't want to understand the value, they're constantly going to be a headache, not only for me, but for the rest of the team. I don't want to be in business with people like that. We want to be in business with people who understand the benefit of being here. Ooh, the enjoyment of being here. And it truly is a different experience. I truly call Keller home, and you know, I told the story today during my interview for the videos and stuff. They asked me what makes Keller Williams and specifically the Mountain Life team, because we're shooting the videos for that, so special. And my answer was, any company can teach you how to sell real estate. You don't get goosebumps from a conversation with just anybody. And my initial meeting with you and Chad, I mean, it felt different.
Cool.
It absolutely did. And, you know, I got goosebumps on video over there thinking and talking about it. So I'm like, that's good for a video. So I'm like, whoo! But, you know, it's just a different conversation and a different feeling when you truly dive into what this company means, stands for, and offers. So profit share should truly be passive. You literally have to do nothing if you don't want to. You could be like Aaron Kaufman. You can travel and teach, which is really cool model, by the way, because other people pay him to go to cool places, teach about KW, build his profit share tree, and then go home. Like, how cool is that? That's awesome. But that's the power of entrepreneurship through Keller Williams being purposeful, right? Like, he made that his business, and there's other people who do it too. He's just the person who's done it the best. It's incredible. It's an awesome opportunity. He doesn't sell real estate at all. That's all he does. And that's what I meant by there's so many opportunities in this industry. It might not just be sales. Like I said again earlier, it's so much easier to go just sell a bunch of homes than to be on a leadership team. But I know personally, this is where I belong. Can't stand sales. I love development, right? But some people love the sales aspect of it. That's awesome. That's why we can all work together. I mentioned earlier too that we are an open books company. We're transparent. If you wanted to see the budget, P&L, expenses, profitability of the market center at any given time, it is our policy that is open. You're allowed to see what that looks like. There's no secrets, budget accountability, business accountability. Again, we are a company of profit share. And Aaron Kaufman says it all the time, our culture starts with profit share. Because every decision we make takes money out of or puts money in the agent's pockets. The more profitable the market centers can be, the more money is shared through profit share with the agents. So every cultural decision starts with profit share. Every hire starts with profit share. Every new marketing opportunity starts with profit share. Is this going to gain dollars or lose dollars? Is this going to take away from profitability or is it going to gain profitability? That is the conversation we have every time we make a decision before anything is done. And we do that through the Agent Leadership Council, Associate Leadership Council. Any questions? What did we not cover? Someone say the 6 personal perspective.
Yeah, but we've already covered that, so technically we did cover it.
What are the 6 personal perspectives?
Commit to self-mastery.
Commit to self-mastery,
80-20.
80-20,
Move from E to P.
E to P.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan.
You open the door.
Other than this.
Make being learning-based part of your action.
There you go, learning based. 2 more. Remove limiting beliefs and be accountable. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. What else? What didn't we cover that we should cover? What do you have questions about? And by the way, the test is next, so make sure you ask your questions.
You said the 200K GCI to be on the 91 split.
Yep.
I haven't really figured out the math. What is the volume that the 3%?
Yeah.
You can't really know because sometimes you're not getting paid 3%.
Right.
You're getting paid 2.25, But what is a rule of thumb on the number to get capped for, like, what do y'all,
So,
the agents know just
1.7 million caps you
in volume
in volume.
for
Single
$16,000.
Yeah, plus your royalty. Yep. Yeah, I just did the math yesterday with an agent, and we did it based upon 11 closings at an average sale price of $375. You would cap at 5.4 deals at $375 average sale price, and you would make, after your cap is paid, $106,000 at the end of the year.
What was it? 1.4?
1.7 million is capped. Good question. Yeah, at 1.7 million in volume, which is like 4 to 5 deals here, you're making 100% commission the rest of the year. To put that in perspective, my average sale price was $127,000 up in Ohio. I had to sell 18 to 19 homes to cap. You guys had it lucky.
What was your capital on?
It was 18 plus 3, so 21. So here it's only $1,000 more, and you got to do so much less work. It's crazy. But that's again part of the KW culture is they're not going to charge more just because they can.
That's I mean, that's really good to know too, when you're trying to speak to agents that you're trying to bring on. The person that's only doing 1 or 2 deals.
That may not be important.
It's not gonna benefit them really, because they're gonna get taken on the 1 or 2 deals at 30% and not cap and not get that benefit of the 100%. So you're really looking for the agents that, are 7, 8, 10 deals, all of them are gonna make money.
Yep.
By being part of KW.
Easier conversation with those for sure. And the conversation just changes a little bit with agents doing 1, 2, or 3 deals, right? Because it's not about the whole menu and that for them, it's not going to be important. Perfect example is Wendy. I finally got to talk to her. And the reason that she's not there is because she's not making enough to cap with how she's running her business. So it doesn't make sense. Well, I'm sure she'll be back because, we've had some good conversations, but it might be a couple months. But at the end of the day, you got to know what's important to people. It might not be the cap. If they only want to do 2 or 3 deals a year, that's great, because that's how they want to run their business. That's perfect. How can we benefit and help them do that at a high level? And maybe time is more important to them, or leverage is more important to them, so they can spend more time with family. And that's where those conversations are so important.
Or the 1 or 2 deals somebody's having, well, maybe it's the training.
Mhm.
And that would turn into
More.
7, 8, 9.
Yep.
It's not that they don't want to do more deals, it's that they just don't know how to do more deals.
Absolutely.
So, all good stuff.
Good. What else? I got career night tonight at 4:30 over at the Market Center. We talk about a lot of this stuff with the new people and real estate school and stuff like that. A little bit more in-depth stuff of just the industry in general. And this should be a pretty good overview of who Keller is. Now, we could always do a deep dive into the models and systems themselves. Yeah, this is a general overview of all the stuff that KW represents. Ready for a quiz? Pull your phones out.
Oh, no.
I love Kahoot.
You know what else?
I don't, because,
You're bad?
yeah.
Go ahead and get logged in.
17515. Just so everybody knows, I'm just gonna. I don't think I have ever played it before, and it said game pin, so I thought I'd put the game pin.
Buster. All right. Good.
Nelson told me to use it the other day, and he's not here to see it, so.
Well, Liam's Liam and not Lima Bean. So,
Yeah.
all right, here we go. Remember, you're going to read the question, answer on your phone. This is not the same quiz as yesterday. Slider answer. How many perspectives are there in the KW model?
I know how to do the diagram, but yeah. How do you submit?
The answer is 6, and y'all got it.
It's so late.
Liam was the quick. Yeah. All right. Here we go. What was Gary Keller's original career aspirations? Rock musician, athlete. Oh, wow. Good job, guys. That's right. You guys do listen. Ooh, Riley took the lead. All right. Who was the founder of Keller Williams Young Professionals? Alex, Frank, and Phil, Chris, Katie, or Holly and Gary? The answer is A. Y'all got someone different.
I
Dude, we just did this yesterday.
I tried to. I got it wrong yesterday.
I got it right.
Good job, Riley.
Remember. Oh, man.
I missed it twice already.
What is the first name of the Williams in Keller Williams? I mentioned it today and yesterday. It's Joe.
Come on, can't remember.
That's okay.
Riley in the lead.
I quit.
What year was Keller Williams Realty launched? 88, 90, 83, or 75? The answer is 83. Good job, everybody. No change at the top. True or false? Keller Williams will pay you to work there. Good job. No change at the top then. What does KWYP stand for? Your Performance, Young Professionals, Yesterday's Partners, or Yellow Pages? Good job, everybody. No change at the top. How many contacts can you load on one command page at a time? 120, 25, or 50? 50.
You can get this wrong every single time.
Well, Liam said I changed the answer.
I was like, I could have sworn it was 25 last time ago.
How many states did Gary Keller fly to in order to recruit people to KWRI? 6, 10, 2, or 0? Good job. Covered that today. What is the name of our regional director? We didn't cover that today. The answer is John.
The red and yellow, I have to like move to see it.
Well, you got that right, and Liam didn't, so you're getting closer. Riley, good job. How many shift tactics are there in the shift book? 10, 12, 6, or 8?
I get this one wrong every single time. Definitely just click on it. Man, I'm
Too bad.
It's not okay. The answer is 12. Riley, did you put 6?
yeah, I get it wrong every single time.
Remember, it's the 6th personal perspective. Okay. So Riley is still holding on.
Loser. Dang it.
Which one of these is not a Y4C2Ts?
I see Mark.
Who said creativity? Oh, no.
Mistake.
Oh,
Damn, moving up. Race for the top here. True or false? Keller Williams is privately held.
oh shoot.
Good job, everybody.
I was thinking of the wrong thing.
Riley's still on top. Keller Williams owns Commands Technology. Good job. Now for some that you haven't seen. Riley still holding on. Creativity before. Reasons, honesty, results, or contracts. Part of our Y4C2Ts. Creativity before result. Buster.
I still got it, but
It's close. It's close. True or false? Husband and wife team share one cap. True.
I sound like what you
Good job.
Trying.
I know.
I figured out that the true is always on the left.
Unless they switch it. Unless they switch
True or false? Keller Williams is a company of models and systems. That is
I'm
true.
gonna switch it on you again.
Buster maintains the lead. We've got two more. Legacy's worth,
Wow.
leading, leaving, giving, or forgetting. Good job.
How am I supposed to everyone?
Let's see. Buster's edging it out. Pam, you're catching on though. Good job. 14.
I mean, I didn't get on me.
Integrity. Do the right thing, wrong thing. Okay.
Thank you. You're the stanky legs. That's funny.
All right, here we go.
To
Final question. Let's see if Riley can get it quicker than Buster.
Buster.
True or false? The Associate Leadership Council consists of more than just agents.
Hey, look, man.
It's true. All right, let's see.
It's Roy. I can catch him.
Number 3 is Pam. 2,
Board.
Riley.
Oh, I jumped in order on the pen right behind me.
And Roy.
These are possible.
All right. So,
That was revenge for yesterday.
Riley, you came in here with a 4 out of 10 knowledge of KW. What would you rank it now?
Did you retain it?
Yeah. Liam?
I know good.
We say 7, so better have more to learn.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Roy?
9.
4 to a 9?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
All right. Good stuff. And Pam, you were next.
That's good. My retention is down.
I have some people in.
Pretty good.
Good stuff, guys.
We pegged this.
You don't. I just forget.
Oh, man.